finally got Rings of Power in the Rings of Power. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back. I'm Dusty Mac, and thank you so much for joining me on this Season 1 finale of The Lord of the Rings of Power. This one is Episode 9, Alloyed. Since this is the finale, I'm going to look back a little bit on the season, not very much, because I just really want to jump into it, because it is midnight. I have not been the biggest fan of this show. I'm not like a huge Tolkienite. I obviously grew up with The Lord of the Rings. I have a lot of nostalgia for them, and, you know, they are one of my favorite trilogies of all time. But this show, it just does not capture that same feeling for me, to be completely honest. The first episode, I was like, okay, I'm getting into this world and the feel of it and stuff, because I did start House of the Dragon right before I started this, so I was kind of comparing the two, and obviously they're two vastly different shows. So after I kind of got out of that, you know, where's the excitement stuff, I was trying to give it a chance. And it had a few things like the elf dude that was in love with the chick. You know, he had that cool scene where he was fighting the orcs in that, you know, in the pit when he was enslaved, and it has a few bits of really cool parts sprinkled throughout, but honestly it wasn't enough to make me like super invested in this show. And I literally almost I wasn't gonna stop watching, but I was almost gonna stop doing edits for the show like right before episode 6, the big exciting episode. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna push through. I only have a few more because this is the season finale, only 8 episodes, and I'm kind of glad I did, because that was an awesome episode. Although I've heard that if you are really big on the lore, then it wasn't good at all for you. So obviously this is just made for the people who are like, oh, Lord of the Rings, I remember that when I was a kid. Let's see what this is about. This is what that show is. This isn't a show for the diehard Tolkien fans. This is just kind of pop culture fluff with Lord of the Rings wrapped around it, and that's kind of heartbreaking, to be completely honest. Going into the show, I honestly thought it was going to be like a redo of the Lord of the Rings. You know, we're gonna get Sam, Frodo, Merry, Gandalf, Bilbo, all those fun people. But we didn't. We got prequel to prequel to prequel to prequel. And not only that, I found out that they don't even have access to the silly book. I don't know how to pronounce it. The silly book that has like all like the appendices and all that stuff. They don't have access to that, which gives all the stuff that we're supposed to be seeing like weight and meaning. So they're basically just taking scraps from what they have and trying to create a whole universe, and it did not work for me. I don't know what they can do with this finale right now, because they kind of already blew their load literally in when they created Mordor in episode 6. Or is this going to be like just Fallout and everybody's going to be drawing their own lines and like, oh, we got to get ready for season 2 because we're going to be having a big battle, and it's like, why can't you do that now? So I really don't anticipate season 1 ending on like a really exciting note, although I could be surprised. I don't know. I mean, we did get the Balrog in the end of the last episode, which was cool. So maybe they're going to be fighting that, and maybe King Durin is going to die, and then Prince Durin is going to take over. So I guess maybe that'll be cool. I hope something exciting happens. Are we going to find out if maybe Gandalf is Gandalf for sure, or if he's somebody else? What is that one, you know, bald-haired chick? What is she looking for? Who is she looking for, and why? We don't know yet. So hopefully a lot of these questions are going to be asked, and it'll leave us with a little more than just kind of what we got. So anyway, guys, if you like my reactions and want to keep seeing more just like this, please make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm, and subscribe, and hit that little bell in the corner, because it'll tell you when my next video comes out, which is usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I also do some bonus videos and barely stream. And if you guys want to support the channel financially, the Patreon and everything else is down below. And with the Patreon, you're going to get these reactions full length and a week or weeks before the YouTube audience. So if that interests you, please go check that out. If not, they'll be up here on the YouTube eventually. And I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and finish off Season 1 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This one is Season 1, Episode 8, Alloyed. Let's do it. Not gonna get an intro this episode, huh? This episode's too important for an intro. Too much shit has to happen. You know, this has been a character that we've followed for 8 episodes now, and we don't know anything about him. I like him just because he's doing some cool magic and he's helping out the Harfoots, but I hope he doesn't turn out to be Sauron. So that would just kind of ruin this whole season for me.
You're not a peril.
Nori.
Oh, it's the people in white. Why the deception? Damn, easy, Dumbledore. Handling those Horcruxes again?
Sauron.
Alright. No! Hold on. I'm going back and I'm turning on these goddamn subtitles just for this one fucking part because I don't know why it's not on there. Alright, let's see if it says Sauron or if you need to help us defeat Sauron. I don't know. I'm serve you.
Sauron.
Why wasn't that part of the fucking episode? Why did I have to turn subtitles on? And why does he have to be Sauron? I already hate this episode. And now we get... What? Why did this episode need a bumper? Just so you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? I wonder if I'm gonna finish this episode. Of course I'm gonna finish this episode. Pretty pissed off right now. I don't want that to be Sauron. He looks and sounds and acts just like Gandalf. Unless maybe they mistook him for Gandalf. I'm still kind of holding out for that a little bit. Show the horse! Show the horse! Why do they have to be slow motion?
I knew there was some way of doing more with less.
We must inform the High King of our failure, and the elves must prepare to abandon these shores.
Couldn't they just come back in a little bit of time, though? Like, go recharge back where you came from and then pop back over? You're supposed to be back over the sea.
6 days ago, we rode without rest.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna fucking pause. I am going to fucking pause because I have been watching Angry Joe's reviews of these episodes because there is a big Tolkien fan on the panel. I don't know what his name is. I just started watching him. I know Joe, but maybe they're all called Joe. I don't know. I distinctly remember them saying where they were, where Mount Doom was that exploded, and where they had to go up to the Elven City. That was a 3-month journey. Did she just say they got there in 6 days? Teleporting elves, what can I say?
I was you here.
Why did she think that he wouldn't be there? She left him there, right?
I did not cross that bitter ocean, only to drown now.
That's really good, Galadriel. Can you go take a shower, please? It's been like 3 months journey in a 6-day time.
What is this place? Was the workshop of Celebrimbor. The Celebrimbor? The master I apprenticed to used to speak of the wonders of your craft. These gemstones, I've never seen anything like them. What do you plan to use them for? This is a peculiar ore. What is it? Not enough. Enough for what?
You're asking a lot of questions to somebody you don't really know.
Have you tried combining it with other ores to stretch it out?
The amounts we needed were too greatly diluted.
Couldn't the right alloy also amplify those qualities?
Amplify.
Obviously, Celebrimbor would have thought of that, right?
Well, that is an intriguing suggestion.
The guy that built all that you're like just gushing about, he's like, oh, I never thought about combining it with something else. That's... Dude's looking like Viserys. Although, he's looking a little better than Viserys did, didn't he?
I know what you have been doing in the dark of night.
You saw that?
There is still time to warn you.
You're mistaken, I'm
Queen, yet no.
What? Why did that pop up? It was about to play something else in the middle of this episode.
Come, you must go up.
Oh, is that one of those orb things? See a flash of the eye, maybe? Why? Why didn't I think that it was going to show what it was? Obviously, it's one of those orb things.
Precisely what manner of object? Smaller than previously imagined. Perhaps a crown.
Ring. Oh.
Allowing the light to arc back, building to a power that is all but unbounded. You would place all that power upon the brow of one being? You.
Sometimes the perilous path is the only path.
And what the hell are you still doing here?
You should not be standing here at all. Since the mountain of fire's eruption, the great tree is all but bleeding leaves.
Couldn't they go to the tree that's in Khazad-dûm?
I almost had it sooner. Speaking with the Southlander that I realized.
The low man?
You didn't think of this? What am I paying you for?
This is a power of the unseen world.
I'm sorry.
She's seeing something
Lord
evil
Celebrimbor.
brewing in him.
Those words, power over flesh, where did you hear them?
I was conferring with my smiths, I think.
Was Halbrand with you?
Didn't he just say that he was with Halbrand?
I am sorry.
Grant me 3 months.
It is a fool's hope, Elrond.
Hope is never mere, not even when it is meager. Or have you forgotten your own counsel?
I didn't like what the music was doing right there. Like every time the king would talk, it'd be like do do do, and then it'd switch over to Elrond, and he'd be like da 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 do do do. It was just like omen music and then like hopeful music. I just kind of cheap, and it kind of threw me out of that moment. This honestly feels like the worst written episode out of all of them, and that's kind of saying a little bit. Or maybe I'm just kind of done with the show and I'm just picking it apart right now. I'm sorry if you love this show. I just, I'm being honest with you guys. I don't want to lie to you guys ever.
I need royal lineages, bloodlines, anything you can find on the Southlands. Speak of this to no one. All of a sudden, the two of you seem quite familiar.
Why does she not trust Halbrand all of a sudden?
Thank you, Galadriel,
For bringing you here.
for saving my life.
Our scales are balanced.
No, you've done far more than that for me. I will never forget that. And I'll see to it that no one else does either.
Why was that so ominous all of a sudden? Like they were all buddy-buddy up until this episode, and all of a sudden she's like looking at him and talking to him a lot differently than she had.
More your powers awaken.
The stars.
It is called the Hermit's Hat, a pattern visible in but one place, the lands of Rune.
Rune? Rune. Ooh, I did a little roll there.
You fell from the stars, the winds and waters, the heat and cold. In Rune you shall learn to command them all, for you are Lord Sauron.
He's like, whoa, this is sounding like Perrin talk here. I'm not a Perrin.
He will learn to control his powers. For now, bind him.
They're right behind him, aren't they? Damn, they're good at hiding. I'll give them that.
Where'd the third one go?
Right behind you.
Now's our chance.
Chance to do what? They didn't even have eyes on the third one, and they're just like running up in there without a plan, really? She's gonna be dead, I think. Oh, there's a third one.
Hey, run!
Oh, fuck! I thought. Oh, maybe he's just dead. That sucks. Oh, is this how the hobbits are born? Because their trail finder died, so they can't get back to the group. So they're just gonna settle now if they survive this. That is. That was pretty cool. Like, this show has some great visuals, obviously, as it should, because it's like $1 billion first season. Someone's awake. We're gonna have a little wizard battle? Oh shit, he's an airbender. Oh, you shall not pass. That orchestra hit was kind of ridiculous there. Ooh, that sounded like something broke. Oh, Jesus. Oh, hell yeah, dude. She's super dead. Yeah, run away! Causing a lot of destruction.
We need you. Please just take it.
Is this how he gets his staff?
What have they done to you?
They show me what I am.
Only you can show what you are.
Damn, these Harfoots are definitely out of their wheelhouse.
You're here to help. I know it.
Do you though? I don't know if you do, but I hope you're right. I hope that's Gandalf and not Sauron. Maybe they just got the wrong person. Like maybe two people fell from the stars.
It'll only hurt but a moment.
That was a pretty good scream by Nori. He's got your stick.
From shadow you came. To shadow I bid you return.
He is not Sauron.
Kiss the other.
I'm good.
You are Goodolf. Oh, were those the wraiths? Oh, that design on the left was amazing. Yep, 100% Gandalf. Welcome to the show, Gandalf. Oh, you're gonna have to find yourself another stick.
We'll find a way to carry you back.
I'm afraid I'm about to go a-wandering off-trail.
Nobody walks alone.
If you don't mind, I'd like to watch the sun come up.
It's a good thing the sun's just about to come up every time someone's about to die, isn't it? So I guess, yeah, they are gonna end up probably turning into hobbits because they won't be able to find the trail again without a trail finder. And maybe they're gonna start to take in like other Harfoots that got left behind, you know? That'd be a cool origin for the hobbits. I don't even know if that's how the hobbits originate in the books.
You once asked me why I pulled Galadriel from the sea.
Even if the cost cannot be known, and trusting that in the end it will be worth it.
Sometimes the cost is dear.
It is.
We have little choice then but to keep serving.
What is this composition right here? They take some odd choices for the shots in this show.
What do you see?
Oh, it's under new flags, eh? Just do a U-turn and book out of there. Oh, does those flags mean that the king died? Oh, I thought that was where the king was sleeping. I was like, damn, he's trying to get rid of the body?
Refuses every effort to bond it with lesser ores.
It may take time.
Time? We don't have time!
And nobody got hurt from that explosion, by the way. Like, that guy's just human.
Too much force.
Meaning the metals shouldn't be forced to join, but more coaxed together.
What is the point of Celebrimbor? Like, this human is just like, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try this. Is he who he even says he is? Because he seems to have a lot more knowledge than a goddamn famous elf engineer. So why does he look worried? Like, seems like they're speeding up a lot in this episode. And unfortunately, season 2 is not going to come out until like 2024, I heard. So it's like, I don't know if it's going to have the holding power that they're hoping.
We're making 2.
2 crowns.
Smaller.
Like a ring?
Come, see for yourself.
Not until you tell me who you are.
I'm afraid I don't.
The last man to bear your crest died over 1,000 years ago.
So was he just somebody that stole that crest?
I told you I found it on a dead man.
You fought beside me.
Against your enemy and mine.
Tell me your name.
I have had many names.
So he's not just human, apparently.
It was just a little tumble, is all.
Is Halbrand Sauron then?
Out of my mind.
You've kept it safe all this time. You fought so hard to complete the task that I could not.
Your task was hunting Sauron.
It was to ensure peace. That was Sauron's task as well.
No, you died.
He was seeking a power, not to destroy Middle-earth, but to heal it.
I mean, in his image, I guess.
Touch the darkness once more.
My brother is dead because of you.
Look at me! Galadriel, look at me. You know who I am. I am your friend.
You're a friend of Morgoth's.
I knew if ever I was to be forgiven, that I had to heal everything that I had helped ruin.
No penance could ever erase the evil you have done.
You said that whatever I'd done before, I could be free of it
You
now.
deceived me.
I told you the truth.
Did you? Because we still don't even know who you are. Big fish.
I alone can see your greatness. I alone can see your light. You bind me to the light, and I bind you to power. Together, we can save this Middle-earth.
And that is why I will never be at your side.
You have no choice. You need me.
I should have left you on the sea.
A sea that you were on because the elves cast you out. What will they do when you tell them that Sauron lives because of you?
And you will die because of me!
I like that exchange right there, but I'm just thinking of how they met. He was, shipwreck in the middle of the ocean, and then she just happened to, jump off the boat and run into him. They both almost got killed by the giant fish, unless he controls the fish. It's like it was all very happenstance.
Deceiver!
It's Elrond.
Where is he?
It'll almost be finished by now.
So are we gonna get the One Ring in this episode then?
Where is Halbrand?
He is gone, and I doubt he will return. None of us are to treat with him again.
Why can't you say he was Sauron? Why are you being so cryptic, Galadriel? Just say, hey, that was Sauron. Don't work with him. Don't give him a ring.
We must make 3.
3
One
for
will
the
always
Elven
corrupt.
Lords.
2 will divide.
With 3, there is balance.
Powers we forge today must be for the elves alone.
And then eventually for the He-Man and the dwarves.
I need gold and silver of the most exquisite quality.
Good thing she has a dagger.
True creation requires sacrifice.
I mean, that sucks. She has to give up that dagger, but is that how it was in the books? Does anybody know?
To discover the rest, I know I must go to Rune.
She's got a vocabulary now, at least.
They called you something else. Istad.
In your tongue, that means wise one. Wizard.
Okay. So they're just trying to do the whole bait and switch, like, is this Sauron? But I never suspected Halbrand of anything, except for, being the king of the Southlands.
You're really not coming with us, are you?
It's our task to make our feet go where our hearts wish not to tread.
So it's a bit like an adventure.
Alone, it's just a journey. Our adventures must be shared.
I like that line. How did they find everybody else? Because I thought that guy was a Pathfinder. That's why he went with them.
All downhill, look like. You're holding it upside down.
I've nothing but steep slopes and brickled brambles for weeks.
You do the trail finding.
You're part of something bigger now.
He needs you.
She's just gonna go off alone and never see any of her friends or family ever again. Like, I just don't have any feelings towards like this scene for them to make it this long. They haven't given us enough to make us care about her leaving these people, because these people would leave any one of those other people.
You're my best friend in this whole wide, wild world. I'd do anything for you.
You want to come with us?
The world's not that wide, Poppy. It's just that we're so bleeding small. So close to that tall fella.
It is sad that she's not going with him. I think she should have, but obviously she took that guy's position as the Pathfinder.
Are you certain?
More than ever.
Perhaps it would be best if you lead off.
I haven't an inkling which way to go.
What if they're going the same way as everybody else?
There's a sweet smell on the air this way. Always follow your nose.
It's like my man Toucan used to say, gonna get the first rings of power in the rings of power. It just took 8 episodes. So is every season Sauron's gonna grow in power, so the dwarves are gonna be like, we need rings too, and they're gonna supply the mithril and all that jazz. It's like saying goodbye to her brother a second time, isn't it? So they're even kind of usurping the power from their king, aren't they? Unless Celebrimbor isn't going to have one. I assume those 3 was going to take one, but... It's pretty elaborate. Probably cool before it got all the way there, right? Unless it was all heated. I guess that's what makes it elven engineering. Sauron is not good at cleaning up the scene of the crime. That's how Elrond found out when Galadriel knew the entire time. Super fucking dumb. Super dumb. We finally got rings of power in the rings of power. 3 rings to rule them all. This is so dumb. Just fucking talk. Why didn't she tell him? Oh yeah, look, he's in his dark outfit now, so he's super bad guy all of a sudden. Yeah, go rule over hell, dude. You done fucked up. You're living in high luxury and now you're going there.
For the elven kings under the sky.
Alright everybody, that was the season 1 finale of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This one was called Alloyed. And look, half of the episode felt really, really bad, and the second half of the episode felt like it was starting to get on track, and like it was like, oh yeah, we're a show about the Rings of Power, let's do some stuff with the rings. And you know, there's a lot of weird fake outs in this. Like, I never once got throughout any of the 7 episodes we've seen previously, like, Halbrand was anybody else other than who he said he was after they found... She actually went to that library and found his lineage, right? As an audience member, I'm just like, yeah, she already knew who he was. He's Halbrand, the leader of the Southlands or whatever. But then she sent someone to the library at the place she's always lived, and she's like, oh, this says that there is no Southland. Like, she should have known that, right? And then the cool part of this episode was the wizard fight between, you know, whoever those people are, the different versions of the White Ranger. That was a cool fight, but like, why do we have to have like oh, this is Sauron. Oh, he's not Sauron. Shouldn't they have known who they were looking for? Unless maybe Sauron, Halbrand, fell at the same time that maybe Gandalf did. And, you know, he landed in the water, and that's where he, you know, his story picks up. Because, like I said earlier, why the hell was he shipwrecked and on, you know, that floating debris? And why was he almost getting killed by a fish, like, out of nowhere? But if he did fall from the sky, why does he have all of his memories, but maybe Gandalf doesn't? I don't know. It's good to see Nori going off with him. She's, you know, becoming but, again, after that guy died... they brought him along specifically so they could get back to the main group because he was the Pathfinder. So how the hell did they get back to them? Unless maybe Nori's friend, I can't remember what her name was, but she kind of took over as Pathfinder, so maybe she was able to get him back. I don't know. The whole interaction between Galadriel and Sauron now, that was just weirdly done. Like a confrontation without a confrontation. Instead of just them like talking by that patio, they actually had to like have this weird flashback dream memory thing. It was, I don't know, that final reveal of, you know, I am Sauron, rah. That was cool. I'll give him that. You know, it was a good interaction, but I don't know. And I was wondering throughout the episode, I was like, how the hell is Halbrand, this human, having all this knowledge that this you know, legendary elven engineer. How does he not know this stuff? But obviously, because he's Sauron. Like, this is the first episode where they actually started, like, looking at each other awkwardly, and he was starting to, like, show cracks of, maybe I am somebody else. Like, it just kind of felt like they tacked it on at the end of the season. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt that, or if you were like, oh, that's Sauron right from the beginning. I don't know. Other than that, I mean, like, this finale was kind of nothing. I mean, the big thing was them forging the rings of power for the elves. But again, they only did the 3 for Celebrimbor, Elrond, and Galadriel. So they just straight up left the king out of it for some reason. Maybe because he didn't want to help with the plan or something. So I'm sure there's going to be some fallout from that next season at some point, I guess. Really sucks that my biggest disappointment for this was there was no Durin. There was nothing with the Balrog. It was just a tease. You're like, oh, look we got the Balrog. It's going to come. But there's no Balrog. There's no Durin. There's no dwarves in this episode. That was really disappointing because, like I said before this, Durin and Elrond are really what drives the show. And luckily, Elrond, again, he's just such a good character that he did carry this episode for me. But the show fell into the thing where it's like in Cobra Kai, everything would be resolved if you just talk to each other. For some reason, Galadriel didn't tell him about Halbrand being Sauron, and for some reason, Elrond didn't tell her that he knew that Halbrand was Sauron. They're just looking at each other weird, and then they're just staring at the rings. So it's like, I don't know. I'm sure that conversation is going to be saved for next season, but she would have saved a lot of trouble, I think, if she just straight up said, oh, by the way, that was Sauron. But I don't know. So anyway, guys, what did you think of this finale? I mean, overall, there was not a lot that happened, just the wizard fight. We got that maybe Gandalf is not Sauron. I'm sure he's Gandalf by now, because he just, again, this character has like a complete 180, and now he like has most of his memories or something, or knows how to talk, and is just like a person. Like, he has a personality all of a sudden. And he was very Gandalf-y, turned those evil people into butterflies, so that was kind of the hint, I think. Or moths, I think they were, actually. But yeah, I mean, this show kind of had the finale 2 episodes ago, and like this episode, they didn't have a lot to do but show people making a couple rings. So I mean, it's cool we got the rings. They look good, I guess, for rings. But yeah, overall, it's kind of a disappointing finale. What did you guys think? You guys gotta let me know in the comment box down below. And is that officially Gandalf? Are we like 100% on that now? Let me know down there as well. And if you like this reaction and want to see more just like it, please make sure you hit that like button for the algorithm, and subscribe, and hit that little bell in the corner, because it'll tell you when my next video comes out, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I also do some bonus videos and barely stream. And if you guys want to support the channel financially, the Patreon and everything else is down below. And with the Patreon, you're going to get these reactions full length and a week or weeks before the YouTube audience. So if that interests you, please go check that out. If not, they'll be up here at some point. I guess thank you so much for joining me on this Lord of the Rings of Power journey. You know, it wasn't my favorite show. I will definitely watch it when season 2 comes out. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the channel. Obviously, if it wins the poll, it'll come up here. But at this point, I got to finish the series since I'm invested now. And I guess that's kind of what Jeff Bezos was counting on. So anyway, guys, like I said, thank you so very much for joining me. You know I love and appreciate every single one of you. And remember, if you're going to go outside, keep wearing a mask. Don't be an ass. And I will see you all next season, maybe, for the Lord of the Rings of Power. Take it easy, guys.
Only you can show what you are.